Hello everybody, welcome back and thank you so much for joining me once again. So at the beginning of a new year, I always find that it's a real time of reflection. It's a time when I'm not as busy as usual with travelling or work. The world seems to have quietened down after a very busy festive period. So it's a real chance to sit back, reflect and think about what you want to achieve in your life and the changes that you want to make. One of the questions I get asked the most is how can I make my life more beautiful and luxurious when I don't have a huge budget? And I've always wanted this channel to be a place where people can come for beauty and inspiration, but for everyone. So whether you have endless resources or you have a very tight budget, I always hope to inspire people to live a more beautiful and luxurious life with what you have right now. So in this video, in the spirit of self-reflection and improvement, I thought that I would share 10 tips to make your life more luxurious in 2025. So tip number 1 is upgrade your morning routine. Now, I've always believed that mornings are really important. The way that you start your day can have an impact on how the rest of your day and even the rest of your week unfolds. So for me, I always like to make sure that I'm making the absolute most of every morning and making sure that I'm in a good frame of mind, feeling positive, relaxed and excited for the day. Now, I know that life is life and we can't always be happy, positive every single day, but even if you're feeling down or perhaps not in the best mood, I believe that there are things that you can do to make your life feel a little bit more beautiful, a little bit more luxurious, so that you can perhaps pick up your mood and spend the rest of the day as you mean to go on. So think about your morning routine. How does that look for you? Do you get up in the morning and get straight into the shower? Do you lay in bed for a little while and scroll through your phone? Do you get up and make yourself a cup of tea? There are no right or wrong answers for this one, but I want you to think about your morning routine and what you can do to make it more beautiful and luxurious with the little things. So if you're someone who wakes up and the first thing that you do is make yourself a cup of tea or a coffee, think about that little routine. What does it look like? How can you elevate and improve this moment? If you have a special cup or mug that you are perhaps preserving for a special occasion, get it out of the cupboards, use it, have it as your everyday cup or mug, and that will instantly elevate your life and make it more beautiful and luxurious. I really love bone china and teapots, so for my morning routine I have my cup of tea in a lovely silver teapot, and then I have my white Wedgwood bone china teacup and saucer. I put it onto a little tray and instantly that has elevated my morning, whether it's gloomy and miserable outside, whether I'm feeling on top of the world or a little bit low. That little moment for myself is a very special moment and something that is going to cheer me up even just for a few minutes. So take a look at your morning routine and think about all the ways that you can elevate it to make it more lovely and luxurious. Tip number 2 is invest in beautiful stationery for handwritten notes or for journaling. Now, as part of my morning routine, I'm someone who likes to sit at my desk and write. I find it quite therapeutic. It's kind of an antidote to the modern world because we're all so used to being on our phones or our laptops. Writing something down on a piece of paper with a pen or pencil is a lovely way to elevate your morning routine, and you can do that even further by investing in some beautiful stationery. And when I say beautiful, I mean beautiful. It doesn't mean expensive. So you can go to many stores, even online, and order some lovely paper, maybe some beautiful note cards and lovely pen, and this will just elevate that ritual of journaling or note-taking so that you can make it a real moment of beauty and luxury for yourself. Tip number 3 is curate a personal fragrance wardrobe. So for me, fragrance is a big thing in my life. It's something that brings me immense joy, and I think it's the fact that fragrance is just such a wonderful thing. That little bottle of perfume or that candle has the power to transport us back in time to a special moment or memory or a period of your life that was particularly wonderful and happy, and I just find that utterly fascinating. I also love the fact that fragrance can really elevate you as a person to everybody else around you. If you smell wonderful, people hold you in high regard and you make them feel lovely and happy too. So fragrance is a small thing, something often overlooked, but for me it is one of the most important things in my life. Now, curating a personal fragrance wardrobe is something very personal indeed, and something that is going to be different for all of us. For me, discovering perfumes is something that I really enjoy, and I don't tend to get too worried about what I like and what I don't like. I think the best place to begin is to go into a local beauty store and test out lots of different perfumes and initially just find ones that really resonate with you. Then you can look into all of the notes and ingredients, and you'll probably find that there's a common theme with all of the ones that you like. For me, I like woody, soapy, musky fragrances, so I tend to go for those ones. For you, it will probably be a lot different, and that is absolutely fine. The wonderful thing about fragrance is that it is completely personal and no choice is a wrong choice. As long as you love it, that is all that matters. But I will give you a top tip for finding a fragrance that becomes your signature. So a few years ago, I was thinking about all of the things that I really loved in my life. And those were things like art galleries, museums, visiting stately homes, going to a beautiful bookstore. And I really began to think about how that tied into the fragrances that I liked. And I realized that all of the fragrances that I really enjoyed were very classic, timeless fragrances. And that actually, this had come to be because when I've been visiting stately homes, for example, there was a smell of leather, of old wood, of a burning fireplace, of beautiful old fabrics. And these had gone into my subconscious and made me really love old world fragrances. So if you want to find your own personal fragrance, I would say think about what you really like. Perhaps it's galleries and museums as well. Perhaps you love going on holiday, the beach. Maybe you would like something that smells a little bit of tanning lotion, or the sea or sand, coconut. Think about what you really like. Now, I don't have a ton of fragrances. I like to have something for the autumn and winter, something that's a little bit more spring and summery, and then I like to have something that is more daytime and something that is more evening. You don't need to spend lots and lots of money on buying loads of different fragrances to create a personal wardrobe. Just choose 3 or 4 that you can use all year round for different occasions and different settings. Tip number 4 is to create a playlist for cooking or unwinding. One of the things that I love the most in life is beautiful music. And music is something that I'm listening to all the time. When I go to the gym in the morning, I have my headphones on and I have something a little bit upbeat to get me through my session. Then when I come home and I'm having a shower, there's music on in the background, perhaps the radio, classical music, so that I can just listen to something whilst I'm getting ready. And then if I'm doing a little bit of work at my desk, I want music to help me relax. In the evenings when I'm cooking and winding down, again, music just to be in the background. Now, one of the things that I decided to do a few years ago was to romanticize my life as much as possible. And one of the ways that I do that is to pretend that when I'm doing menial chores in the house, like cleaning or cooking when I can't really be bothered, is to make my life feel like its own movie with its own soundtrack. And you can do that by creating your own playlists. For example, if you've come home from a very busy day of work and then you have to think about cooking a big meal for yourself, it can seem a little bit tiresome and boring. So the way to elevate that moment is to create a beautiful playlist of lovely music. For me, I like to listen to French music. I like the fact that I don't need to know the words, I can just hear the melody and the beauty of it, and then I can just relax into my cooking. So find music that will really make you feel relaxed and create your own movie moment, and then you'll find that doing that evening cooking or doing that evening task will be a lot more beautiful and a lot more luxurious. Tip number 5. Add small rituals to your week, like a Sunday reset or afternoon tea. So in the busy, fast-paced life that we all seem to live nowadays, I think it's really important to find at least one moment in your week that you can look forward to as a moment of relaxation and indulgence. For me, I call it my weekly ritual, and it is usually on a Sunday, a day that I take off to rest, and I will either do something like a Sunday reset or treat myself to a lovely Sunday roast or an afternoon tea. And in fact, Sunday is a really great day to do this because for most of us, it is a day of rest. It's a day when you shouldn't really have a lot to think about or to do. And it's a great moment at the end of the week just to reset and get yourself refreshed, ready for the week ahead. So for my Sunday ritual, whether that is a reset or a special meal, for my reset, I like to go through a drawer or a cupboard and just do a quick organization, whether it's 10 minutes or 30 minutes. Just yesterday, I went through all of my closet, got rid of a few things that I want to take to the charity shop, tidied my shoes, tidied everything on hangers, and that 15-minute reset just lifted me immensely and made me feel a lot more relaxed and like, I've done something wonderful and something that I can be proud of in my home. Another thing you could do is perhaps go through a drawer or a cupboard and declutter and organize it. I promise it will make you feel really happy and really like you've achieved something. So that is a reset thing that you can do. Another thing that I like to do, as I mentioned, is have a special meal like a roast or an afternoon tea. Perhaps you want to invite a friend over and you can enjoy that moment together. For me, I absolutely love a Sunday roast on a Sunday. It is something very British and traditional, and it's a meal that I don't eat very often. So I like to spend time either cooking in the kitchen, making beautiful roast potatoes, a lovely joint of beef, make a lovely gravy, or I'll go out for a roast with my friends and just relax. And then also I like to do afternoon tea. That is a lovely little ritual where you make little tea sandwiches, cakes, pastries. Again, a meal that I don't eat very often, but something that is indulgent and relaxing. So choose your moment of either a reset or a special meal, and I promise you, life will feel a lot more luxurious. Tip number 6. Keep your wardrobe tidy and focus on timeless pieces. So this one kind of follows on from the previous tip, and that is about keeping your personal spaces like your wardrobes, drawers and cupboards tidy. So this is my closet, which I actually organized very recently and tidied up a little bit. So it's not the biggest closet in the world, but it does have enough storage for me. And I'm going to show you around. So here we've got all of my shoes. I don't have many shoes, but I have a shoe for every occasion. So I have a formal shoe, a monk strap, a nice suede loafer. Then over here I have my kind of dinner jacket shoes that I wear. Then I have a black boot, a brown boot, and then 2 pairs of brown suede boots. Those are my more everyday ones, and those are my ones that I wear for best. And then here I have my black loafers, Gucci loafers, and then 2 pairs of sneakers, one in black and one in white. And then I've got a few black shoes there. And then up here I have all of my knitwear. Now I wear knitwear nearly every single day. It's kind of my signature look, and it's organized into colors. So we've got creams, whites, beige, brown, and then it goes into a little bit of green, not many green, just 2, gray, and then navy blue, and then at the very end a bit of black. So all of that is nice and sorted out. And then what I also like to do when I've worn something is I take the hanger and I put it here, and then I've got my hanger store there, all of my hangers. And then over here I've got all of my pants. So again, beige, cream, grey, bit of brown, navy blue, and then at the end black. So I know where all of my clothes are. If I want to wear a grey knitwear, I can pull it out of here. If I want to wear a cream, I can pull it out of here. If I want to wear cream pants, I can pull them out of there. I've got a little tray here with my gloves on. I've got some black leather ones and some brown, a few bits, a wallet, coins that I save the coins there because I don't really use them. And then here I've got a bobble remover for my knitwear. In there I've got all of my belts. And then here I've got some fragrances that are kind of not my everyday, ones that I've collected, and they're just kind of stock for me to use. Same thing in there with all of my face masks and things. And then on my boiler, because it's not a very attractive thing. I've tried to make it a moment of joy by adding photographs of my friends and family so that when I'm getting dressed in the morning, I can see them. Up here, I've got some of my boxes that I want to keep. So I've got a Louis Vuitton box that my wallet came in, Tom Ford sunglasses, another watch box there. These were diaries from Aspinall. Up there is my Louis Vuitton weekend travel bag, and then some of the boxes up there. So very organized, nice and neat. I can dress here very easily, and everything is all done. And then I'll show you my coat and jacket closet, which is here. So I'll put the light on. So yeah, here we've got all of my coats. Again, organized into colors so that I can quickly pick something out. Up there I have some storage for my iron and my seat pads for outside. And then on the back of the door I have all of my tote bags that I use when I go to the supermarket or shopping and I need to take everything with me. So yes, that is my little closet organization, and it really makes my life so much happier. So if you have taken the time to organize and go through your closets to make sure that everything is beautiful and that you have got rid of everything that is no longer serving you, I then think it's time to focus on only investing in timeless pieces. Now, of course, style is very personal to us all, and we should all wear what we truly love. But I just think that only buying timeless pieces is a great way to make sure that you're not wasting any money and that your closet is serving you in the best way. So for me, I try to stick to very timeless pieces. I try not to get lured in by trends or the latest fashion. All of my clothes, I know that I can look at them and say that in 10, 15 years, they will still be completely in style, they will still look great. This very simple outfit that I'm wearing today, a grey crew neck sweater, grey flannel trousers, I could wear this in 15 to 20 years and it's still going to look pretty stylish and pretty chic. So that is what I've tried to do to stop myself from being sucked into the latest trends and fashions. I buy timeless pieces that I know I'm going to love for a very long time. Tip number 7 is to explore local new places to make ordinary days feel like an adventure. Now, I don't know about you, but where I live here in Edinburgh, I've been here for 5 years, and I realised recently that there are still so many places that I've yet to visit. For example, one of the biggest historical monuments that everybody loves to see when they come to visit Edinburgh is Edinburgh Castle. It is probably the most famous of all of the landmarks here, yet I still have not visited it. Can you believe? And I think the reason why is because when you live in a city or a place where lots of people like to visit, you think, oh, it's fine, I'll get there eventually, I'm focusing on everything else. And 5 years later, you discover that you still haven't been. So wherever you live, whether you live in the country, the city, by the beach, I think there are definitely places that you've probably yet to explore. Even if you have to go maybe an hour or two away, I think that is still considered local and still considered something that is pretty nearby. So think about all of the places that you've yet to visit, you really want to go to, even if it's just a new restaurant or a local bar that you've never been to. Think about all of those places and make a list. And then on a day that's feeling pretty ordinary or dull and you're feeling a little bit lost, tick through the list and make life more adventurous. Here in the UK, we're really lucky. All of our galleries and museums are free of charge, so everybody has the opportunity to go into them and explore. It means that people from all walks of life, regardless of their background, have the opportunity to explore art and culture and perhaps enjoy something that they may not have realised they really loved. So yes, exploring local new spots in 2025 is a really great way to make your life feel more luxurious, adventurous, and like you're making the most of every single day. Tip number 8 is elevate meals by using elegant serveware or linen napkins. So this is something that I've talked a lot about in my 5 years as a YouTuber, about elevating everyday moments so that you can make your life as beautiful as possible. And I touched in this on tip number 1 when I talked about upgrading your morning routine. But I really think that your meal times are an incredible way to really elevate your life and make it feel more beautiful and luxurious. Most of us have 3 meals a day. Most of us eat those 3 meals outside of the home if you're going out to work. But on days like the weekend, or if you have a day off, why not elevate every meal at home by using beautiful serveware and linen napkins? Now, I'm not telling you to go out and spend loads of money on upgrading all of your serveware. Perhaps you want to do this over time, and I personally feel that this is the best way to do it. Maybe you want to go to a boot sale or a charity shop and buy a new glass. Start with one item. That is what I did many years ago. I couldn't afford to buy a whole set, so I'd buy 1 or 2 glasses when I went to a charity shop, and then over time you find that you've got a full set of beautiful glasses. Same with plates and cutlery. Buy yourself 1 new plate per month, if that's all you can afford, and then at the end of the year you'll have 12 new plates that you can use. But I really think buying beautiful serveware, cutlery, dishes, linen napkins, to have them in your cupboards to use at every meal is a really, really wonderful way to treat yourself beautifully and elevate your life. The linen napkin is really a humble and simple piece when you think about it, but it's one thing that not many people are using nowadays. Whenever I'm having breakfast, lunch or dinner at home, I'll always get myself out a linen napkin from my collection. I find that it is a really wonderful self-care ritual of having this lovely linen napkin, placing it on your lap to make sure that you're protecting your clothes. It looks beautiful in the house. You can admire the quality. Perhaps it's got a design that you really love. It is a real moment of self-care and love, and something that is overlooked. So I think that really elevating your life by using elegant serveware and linen napkins is something that is going to make your life more luxurious and more beautiful. Tip number 9, dedicate time to learning something new, like a language or a hobby. So I've always believed that a great act of self-love and self-care is learning something new and increasing your skill set. So I have always been very honest and open that I'm not really an expert in anything, but what I have done over the course of my life is dedicate lots of time to learning new things and finding new passions for myself. And I think it's a really great way to improve life and make it more fun and interesting, and also to make yourself a more interesting person to other people. I've talked a lot in the past about learning new languages. I personally believe that learning a new language is a really respectful and polite way, especially when you're traveling, to just show appreciation to the place that you're at and show other people that you're a really respectful and kind person. Even if you just learn a few local phrases when you go to a restaurant, so that perhaps you can order from the menu or ask for directions. It's just a really great way of showing respect when you're in a new place or destination. It shows that you're caring and a little bit cultured. Similarly, with learning new hobbies, it's a great way to self-improve. I have done lots of new things over the course of my life. I learned how to sew, I've learned how to paint, I've learned how to make things, I've learned how to do lots of DIY in my home. And even though I'm not perhaps the best at any of those things, I know that if I want to take my hand to learning something new, that I've got the drive and get up and go to do it, and that I'm really going to enjoy doing a new thing. And finally, tip number 10, prioritize time in taking care of yourself in unexpected ways. Now, once again, I truly believe that self-care is the #1 way that you're going to make your life more elegant. And if you think back on all of the tips that I provided here today, they're all kind of self-care. Whether that is using beautiful cutlery, learning a new language or a skill, or curating a personal fragrance wardrobe. These are all self-care things that you're doing for yourself to improve and enhance your life. So now I want to think about how you can create a moment of self-care in an unexpected way that is really going to improve your life. whether that be coming home from work and giving yourself a lovely hand massage, or perhaps waking up in the morning and doing a face mask. Think about something that you can do very quickly in 5 or 10 minutes in the day, where you can sit back, relax, and just take a moment of indulgence. For me, it is doing a face mask. I like to use my Ferreo devices. I have 2 or 3 of them, and whether that's cleansing my skin, doing a face mask, or doing an LED light therapy, I like to take a moment in the morning to do my skincare and my face, and just uplift my mood by having a bit of a moment of self-care. So think about a moment in the day when you can do that for yourselves. Give yourself a hand massage, give yourself a facial, perhaps take yourself off to get your nails done, but find a moment that you're really going to indulge and have a moment of self-care to uplift and make your life more elegant. I promise it is something that will be really beautiful and something that you'll really appreciate. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I really hope that you've enjoyed these 10 tips and they've inspired you to think about how you can make your life more elegant and luxurious in 2025. And I want you to remember that elegance and luxury isn't about spending lots of money or being extravagant. It's really just the very small things that make our lives more beautiful, whether that be taking your morning tea in a lovely teacup, or finding a personal fragrance that becomes your signature. These are the things that you can do for yourselves to elevate, uplift, and make your life a lot happier and a lot more elegant. I look forward to seeing you next time, but until then, do take care. Bye-bye.